If anyone is here for a continuance, you can line up in this aisle where the gentleman is already standing up. Thank you. Everybody want to have a seat? We're going to be starting.
One, two, check, check, 1, 2. 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2. Check, check. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check. 1, 2.
I got 2 of them.
Are they on the 9 o'clock call?
Yeah, both of them. You help me along.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the February 21 meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Brian Sanchez, and I am the chairman of the ZBA. With me today are Commissioners Swathy Staley, Angela Brooks, Adrian Soto, and Helen Schiller. I'd like to call this meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to order. I'll take a roll call vote to establish quorum. Commissioner Staley.
Present.
Commissioner Brooks.
Present.
Commissioner Soto.
Present.
Commissioner Schiller.
Present.
I am present. Quorum is established. The minutes of January's meeting have been distributed. Unless there are corrections, I move that we approve the minutes as distributed. Commissioner Schiller seconds. Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes. The minutes are approved. I move that we approve today's agenda. Commissioner Schiller seconds. Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes. The agenda is approved. Now, before we call our first case, we will take any continuances or withdrawals. Anybody have a request for a continuance? Oh,
Okay. Good morning.
good morning. Could you state your name and role, please?
My name is Gail Sewell, and I'm with Alderman Hall's, 6th Ward Alderman Hall office.
Okay.
All right. The first one is on page 4.
Okay. Which one?
Case number, what's that, 5825S? Is that
Okay.
right? Okay. So on that one, we're asking for a continuance because the community hasn't met yet.
Okay. Counsel for the applicant?
Chairman, also Fred Augustin, the attorney for the applicant on that matter. So,
Okay.
yeah, and we actually had a meeting with Alderman Hall. Per Alderman Hall's request, we'd like to have a continuance. We have a community meeting set in early March. If we could have a date in March, that'd be great, but whatever next available, we'll take.
Okay. So calendar number 5825S will be continued to April 18th, 2025, the 2 p.m. call, and no further notice will be given.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a second one. Page number 2, case number 4625S.
Okay.
And
What's the basis of the request?
the owner is not present, I'm sorry. The owner of, I'm asking for continue because the owner is not present at the time.
Owner is not present?
Yes.
The owner of the property?
Yes.
Is the owner of the property different from the applicant?
No. I just see one name on here.
Oh,
Her name
okay.
is Is it the operator or the owner? Oh, you don't? Oh, well, I don't think they here either.
Is there anybody here for 34?
No.
71st Street?
We didn't see him, so.
Okay. It doesn't appear that the applicant is here. Oh, the attorney is here? So the attorney for calendar number 4625S, if you're here, please step forward.
Who's the attorney?
All right. I don't see the attorney. I don't see the,
48, 71st Street, please.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Sorry about that.
okay. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. So it's the middle of page 5. Address is 944 North Damon.
Could you identify yourself for the record,
Yes,
please?
I'm Emmanuel Byram, attorney for the applicant. And it's calendar number 6525S and 6625Z. There was a mix-up with the notice. We ended up getting relief we didn't need, so we got the renotice.
Okay. Are you withdrawing one of these applications?
Yeah, sorry, withdrawing 6625Z. The variation is no longer needed.
Okay. And then you want to continue 6525S?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, so 6625Z is hereby withdrawn. And 6525S will be continued to April 18th, the 2 p.m. call, and no further notice. Oh. Okay. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Okay. So calendar number 6525S will be continued to April 18, 2025, the 2 p.m. call. Victor, while the alderman's office is still discussing that one, let's call the first case. Yes, thank you. All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes,
Thank you very much. Are you an attorney?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Okay. Are you the applicant?
I am.
What is your name?
Stephen Lawrence,
Okay, and your address?
801 South Wells Street, number 208, Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
60607.
Thank you. And your name and address?
Leticia Jimenez, 949 West Madison, Unit 509, Chicago, Illinois, 60607.
Okay. And this is for the special use for the parking lot?
Yes,
Okay. And do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
yes,
Thank you. Those will be admitted into the record. And I do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development that recommends approval of the non-accessory, non-required parking lot. Have you had a chance to review DPD's recommendation?
yes,
And do you agree to be bound by the conditions that are set forth in that letter?
yes.
yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Case 4325S, 1837 South State
Oh,
Street.
hold up. We've got Nancy.
Chairman, Nancy Razovich, Assistant Commissioner for the Department of Planning and Development, Zoning Bureau. We had made an amendment to the recommendation memo that had been posted, so I believe we have to read the new conditions on the record.
Oh, okay. And the current one is in my hand? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to read these, and then I'm going to ask both of you whether you agree to be bound by the conditions set forth in the recommendation, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So, this is the recommendation for calendar number 4225S by the Department of Planning and Development. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of the non-accessory, non-required parking lot with 18 off-street parking spaces to serve as a public parking lot for the surrounding community, provided one, the special use is issued solely to the applicant, Famous Parking LLC. Two, the development is consistent with the design and layout of the site plan and landscape plan dated February 8, 2025, prepared by Famous Parking LLC, except as amended by the following condition. And 3, prior to issuance of any required public way, street opening and/or amended driveway permits, the applicant submits an updated site plan showing Chicago Department of Transportation standard curb cuts at all driveways for review and approval by CDOT, and completes all necessary curb cut improvements required by CDOT prior to the issuance of any licenses by Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. Now, do both of you agree to be bound by those conditions?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. With that, we will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Confirm to tell the truth.
what's that?
I wasn't sworn in, but I
Oh.
confirm.
Okay. Nancy, if you could just state your name and role, please.
Nancy Razovich, Assistant Commissioner, Department of Planning and Development, Zoning Bureau.
And you swear and affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Okay. Thank you. Okay.
4325S, 18 South State Street.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
It's the same.
Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Which one of you is planning to testify?
Just in case both of them.
Okay, if all of you could raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you want to give us a brief overview and then introduce your witnesses.
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, my name is Agnes Pleck. I'm an attorney with law firm of Jaffe and Berlin, located at 111 West Washington, Chicago, and I represent BG Tattoo LLC, the applicant in this proposed special use, and I am joined today by Ziwei Penn and Roxy Day, managers. Ziwei is the manager of the LLC. Roxy is the manager of operations. Very simply, we have a mixed-use building, 5-story, commercial units on the ground floor, residential units above. This particular commercial unit has been vacant for some time. The landlord told us he had some hard time renting and finding a good tenant. We are hoping to bring a good tenant for this use. And this proposed body art studio will be drawing clientele from within this very dense neighborhood. This is a fairly small unit. It's about 1,000 square feet of floor area. They will only have 2 workstations, and all the clientele will be arriving and will be accepted by appointment only. We will have hours of operations between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. 6 days a week, again by appointment only. So this will regulate the incoming traffic to the property. This is a very walkable neighborhood. It is also a transit-served location, so we expect very little vehicular traffic to the property.
Okay, and if you could introduce your witnesses?
That's Ziwei Penn and Roxy Day.
Okay, and for the applicant's witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I see that we also have Brian from Alderman Dow's office. If you could state your name and role, please.
Sure. Thank you very much, Chairman. Brian Friedman, 3rd Ward Alderman Pat Dowell's office, here on behalf of Alderman Dowell to support this project. It'd be a welcome addition to the community. They had a nice meeting with Chairman Dowell where they agreed to that hours of operation, which we're glad are on record. The second agreement that they came to was for coverings of the exterior windows, make sure that people can see inside the property, that nothing bad's going on in there. And those have been agreed to as well. And so we're very happy to support this project and welcome them to our community.
Excellent. Thank you very much. The material submitted with the hearing packet will be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under
Mr.
advisement.
Chairman, do we have a recommendation from Department
Oh,
of Planning?
you do. It is a recommendation of approval. for
Thank
the
you, sir.
Proposed body art service.
Thank
We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank
Thank
you.
you so very much.
Good morning.
Morning.
Would everyone planning to testify please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Who would like to, well, first, are you the architect?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Could you state your name and address, please?
Trudy Messick, 1510 North Trip, Chicago, 60651.
Okay. And sir, could you state your name and address, please?
Alexander Lands, 2220 West Shakespeare.
Okay.
Lindsay Lands, 2220 West Shakespeare.
Okay. And if you could just move that mic towards you. Thank you. Okay. For the applicants and the architect, do all of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you very much. They will be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, once again, good morning, guys. We got it straight. So what happened, the lawyer's here for this, case?
This is 4625S?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and, we are asking for a continuance because the community has not met yet.
Okay. And what's the response from counsel for the applicant?
We have no other choice. We have no other choice but to continue for the community to meet.
Okay. Could you state your name for the record?
Bere M. Ekechukwu,
Could you spell it for the court reporter?
E, middle initial N, last name EKECHUKWU.
Okay. So calendar number 4625S, hearing no objection from the applicant, will be continued to April 18, 2025, the 2 p.m. call, and no further notice will be given.
Thank you.
That's fine. Next two cases, 4725Z, 4825Z. I'm sorry, 4725S and 4825Z, 5912 North Minnesota.
All right, good morning. Would everyone planning to testify please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. Ryan's expertise. Counselor Moore, if you want to provide a brief overview and then introduce your witnesses.
Thank you very much. My name for the record is Tom Moore. And to my right is Jimmy Ryan, who has owned this property for many, many years. And about 10 years ago, the tenant in the main commercial property is on Northwest Highway, but there's another building or a connected building on the side street, Nashtawa. I'm not sure I can say that right. And that street is a residential street. And for 10 years, this has been empty. He's been talking to the alderman about a zoning change. The alderman wasn't comfortable with that, but he's been back to him several times. And finally, the alderman, after many discussions, said yes, he would not object to a special use to allow him to make that ground floor residential. And that's why we're here today. There's a need for housing, and this would create some, affordable in the small affordable sense. And we also, we went round and round with the planning department about parking. As Jimmy will testify to, there's plenty of parking, and there's plenty of parking on the street. And it's just kind of how you measured the parking or how you um, characterized it, but there's not a parking problem. So we're here on both the special use to allow him to put 7 apartments in the ground floor of this unused back building. And we're on a pedestrian street, and so also to waive the additional parking.
Okay. And have you introduced your witnesses?
Well,
I'm James Ronan.
Okay.
I'm Victor Drapso, licensed architect with Red Architects, 2122 North Damon.
Joseph M. Ryan, MAI, President, LaSalle Appraisal Group with offices at 9455 South Point.
Okay. And do all of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. They'll be admitted into the record. I do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development recommending approval for the applicant. Have you had a chance to review this?
Yes, I have.
And do you agree to be bound by the conditions set forth in the letter?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from the board?
Hi, I'm just, can you explain what you mean when you say when you were talking about parking? What is the explanation? You were saying they viewed it one way, you viewed it another, it's not a problem. What does that mean?
How you count the commercial, and there's also some spaces in the back that are, you can park in them, but they don't quite meet the 18 by, if you park parallel versus perpendicular, they don't quite meet it. I mean, if you'd like to hear from Mr. Ronan, who is there every day, there's just not a parking problem.
Yeah, I just want to understand. I don't know the area, so I just want to understand. Some areas I know that the whole point about the transit stuff is it's special use, so we can look at it in the context of the area. So I'm
Sure.
just trying to understand.
So if you look at the site plan, the Ace Hardware store obviously has plenty of parking spots. And just talking to Jim, the owner, he owned this property for
Since '07.
so long time. There's always parking available on that lot as well. And behind the building, there's also parking that is there. We had to make it parallel to the building, so there's less amount of parking that would be normally. But for, if we would have made the cars parked perpendicular to the building, they do not quite fit the actual parking requirement of the city, which is the 8 feet wide by 18 deep. So, but knowing that the cars are actually, probably some cars are like very efficient, smaller and things like that, they would still make that parking available. But just going back to the need of the parking, there's plenty of street parking available. This is at the end of the street, so there's no residential buildings at that portion from the alley to the Northwest Highway. So that strip of street is plenty street parking available to the residents.
And the commercial businesses just operate during the day?
Yes.
So there would be no conflict in the evening at all?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are you next?
All right, sir, could you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you want to just give us a brief overview and introduce your witness.
Absolutely. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Emmanuel Byron with the law firm Shane Banks, an attorney for the applicant Edge Elegance. They're seeking a special use permit to activate the ground floor space of a 5-story mixed-use commercial building. They're seeking to establish a barbershop. The owner has extensive experience, about 16 years. He's been cutting hair for a very long time. He's really happy about bringing it to the area. He has met with the alderman and done community engagement. And the alderman, even though it's not a part of the application, he just gave us a letter of support yesterday. But I do just want to highlight that the alderman is in support of establishing a special use. At this time, I would like to introduce applicant owner Bilal.
What's your full name for the record, please?
Bilal Yavuz.
And do you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
So I didn't get the question. So should be yes? Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. Are there any, and I do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development that recommends approval of the proposed hair salon. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Ma'am, could you state your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Kanake Salik. My address is 5017 West Irving Park Road.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? You have to say it out loud.
Yes.
Thank you. Counselor Moore, if you could just give us a brief overview.
Yes, thank you. So we call her Connie, and she's been in the nail salon business for many years. And she lost her lease or had to move from where she was and found this place has a lease for it. And we were in front of the board for a hair salon that kind of shares the doorway with this space, same landlord. And she's met the ladies who you granted a special use to do the hair salon, and they don't do nails. So they're going to have a mutual admiration society where they're going to recommend each other, and someone who comes to get their hair can go right next door and get the nails as well. And so the alderman's office has no objection. We've had nobody who, and this is an empty storefront. And so as far as we know, everyone is for it, and we'd appreciate your support as well.
And we do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development that recommends approval of the nail salon. Are there, for the applicant, do you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Everything we wrote out, you signed, is correct.
Correct.
Thank you. It will be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, done.
220, and, I'm sorry, 125, 7127.
All right, good morning. Would everyone planning to testify please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Thank you very much. Counselor Moore, a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Thank you very much. My name for the record is Tom Moore, and we have the two owners with us, Christina Hondropoulos and Brian Patterson. And they have a situation, they have two townhouses, and there's a historic house built at the back of the lot. So they have a very short, their townhouses are a very short lot, and there's a a driveway into their garages, but the result is they have no outdoor space. And so the plan is to put a deck out of what's their first floor really, and above, so they can drive into their garages, but they'll have outdoor space. And their life would be much nicer if they could, in the summer, go out and barbecue and have some outdoor space. They've talked to the neighbors. We've sent out notice. We're aware of nobody who's against this, and we'd appreciate your support as well.
Great. For the applicants, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
I do. Yes.
Thank you. They'll be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, would everyone planning to testify please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you want to give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Rolando Acosta here on behalf of the applicant. Have with me here today the applicant Daniel Espada and his architect Paul Christensen. This matter involves a three-story building. It is currently a two-flat. The ground floor is a rental unit. The upper floor is the applicant's home with his family. The attic is an occupiable space. They wish to expand into that attic to create more living space for the family. However, because of the pitched roof, they don't have enough space for a closet and a bathroom on that floor. And to achieve construction of that closet and bathroom, they wish to build a dormer roughly in the center of the building, so it'll be significantly set back from the street, not really that visible from the street. They have the FAR to build it, but unfortunately, this building is already at the height maximum of the district, so building it requires a 3-foot variation to allow the increase in height. The neighbors are aware of this. There are no objectors to it. Happy to answer any questions. With that, I have them affirm their affidavits.
Great. For the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. They will be admitted into the record. For the applicant, have you spoken with your local, you know what, never mind. Are there any questions from the board?
No.
We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case. 25Z, 29.
All right, would everyone planning to testify please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do, sir.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you want to give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Jimena Castro. I am a partner at Acosta Esger. With me today is Chris Blanco, who is the applicant for the property, and to his left is Alan Lesky, who is the architect for the project. Can you please state your name and business address for the record?
Sure.
Or property address?
Christian Blanco, 2962 North Gresham.
And then Alan, can you state your name and business address for the record, please?
Alan Leskew, office 1701 South First Avenue, Maywood, Illinois.
And you're the architect?
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
All right. The property is zoned RS3. It is a double lot with 2 residential buildings on the lot. The front building is a 3-story building with 2 dwelling units and 2 parking spaces. The rear building is a 3-story with 3 dwelling units and 3 parking spaces. And the property was purchased by Chris and his wife Guadalupe in 1997. And the property has pre-existing features such as masonry posts along the front yard setback, a solid fence over 4.5 feet, mailbox kiosk, and a hatch entrance roof along the front of the building. So if you look at the front of the property photo, you can see a little bit of what it looks like. As I mentioned, this property was purchased in 1997. In 2007, Chris and his wife Guadalupe determined that the front stairs and the deck for the front and rear building were rotting, and they hired a contractor, and the contractor took care of everything. They let my clients know in 2007 that the permits were not required because they were just replacing what was existing. And in 2007, we had my client and Guadalupe replaced the front stairs, and which are over 6 feet in height in order to reach the second floor. And then for the rear building, they replaced the deck there as well and the stairs, and then as well as reconstructed the 6 feet fence that is at the back of, you can see in some of the photos of the second building in the rear. Like I mentioned, this was done without permit, and my client is aware that he should have done more due diligence in 2007. And recently, I believe it's probably in 2021 or 2022, an inspector was driving by the neighborhood, saw the improvements, saw that they looked newer, and then, my client was ordered to take them down or comply or come here. So this is why we're here. Alan very graciously drew what was existing, and we're here merely to legalize and to reduce the front, rear, the east side setback, and combined side setback. We have overwhelming neighbor support because this is such a unique and beautiful property. Everyone wants to make sure it retains and remains as is, and we're seeking favorable consideration for this case, please.
Sure. For the applicant briefly, in 2007, when the work was done, you did not know that permits would be required for this work. Is that true?
It is true, yeah. I
Okay.
didn't know, I just hired the person.
Okay.
The first time as a home buyer, he
Yeah.
Sure.
I
As you s-
apologize for that because I should have did it somewhere.
And as you sit here today, you know now that if you were to get any more work done, it requires a permit.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, great. Are there any questions from the board? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, this, the replacement that was done in the same footprint that existed before?
Yes, ma'am.
So the variations are being asked to actually do what was already there?
Correct, just to legalize what's existing.
No, but in addition, it's the same footprint that was there before. So
Yes.
that when it was originally built, it was built at the same specifications that you're asking for today?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, 54.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah.
One of the things that I talked to the Alderman about, I think we should ask them to do an ordinance that says if you're a single family home and replacing what exists, we don't need to.
All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you want to give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Yes. For the record, my name is Jimena Castro, partner at Acosta Esger. Good morning to the members and chairman. This property is located at 932 North Wolcott, and I am here with the owner, applicant of the building, and the architect, Jacob Oatley. Can you please state your name and business address for the record?
Yes, Jacob Oakley, 932 North Wolcott.
And then Kaya Katmerka-Ramik, who is the owner of her architecture firm. And I say that because we don't have a lot of female architecture firm owners, so I just wanted to say that. Please state your name and business address for the record.
Katmarka Ramick, 4468 North Elston Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60630.
Great, thank you. As I mentioned, the property is located at 932 North Walcott. It is an RT4 zoned property, a two-story building with 4 dwelling units, a 2-car garage. There's 2 dwelling units on the first floor, 2 dwelling units on the second floor, and it's a legal non-conforming floor area of 4,034.25 square feet. Jacob plans to duplex down the second floor units to the basement and then to duplex up the second floor units to a proposed third floor dormer addition. To allow the duplex down to the basement, the contractors will need to excavate in order to allow for light and air ventilation, and that is one of the hardships. And also, in order to do this, the first floor will need to be raised about 10 inches, correct, Kaya?
Yes.
Yeah, about 10 inches. And in doing that, we would be eliminating the legal non-conforming floor area that currently exists. As I mentioned, we need the basement, and it needs natural light and air and ventilation requirements. And we're seeking a variation to expand the floor area by 322.7 square feet, which is no more than 14.95 of existing building area that has existed for over 50 years. We have neighbor support, everyone's happy, no complaints, and we're just here to sort of, unfortunately, reestablish a little bit of what has existed there for a little bit and to make sure that the tenants on the basement have required natural light and ventilation. So we would enjoy or appreciate your support in this matter.
Okay. For the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Those will be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? Go ahead.
I just want to clarify, you said that from the second floor down, you meant from the first floor down to the basement?
Yes, I'm sorry. First floor duplex down to the basement.
And I just wanted to be clear, you're not changing the number of units.
No.
You're just changing how much space
layout.
within the existing framework, and the dormer is within the same framework and everything.
Yeah, the dormer will have increased floor area.
Yes, just the dormer will have increased floor area. There's actually a little bit of a stair dormer there now. We're just going to enlarge it to have enough space because the units existing are very small. Just have proper living units there.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you at 2 p.m.
Good morning. Would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Counselor Fatikas, if you can give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Great. Thank you, Chairman. For the record, Nick Fatikas from the Law Offices of Sam Banks. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, 3021 North Clybourne LLC. The applicant owns the subject property at 4239 Northwestern Avenue. As you can see from the survey, the property, while it measures 25 feet wide, it's only 106 feet in depth. The property is currently improved with a 2-story residential building and a detached garage. The applicant is proposing to take down the existing structures and develop the property with a new 4-story, 4-unit residential building. In order to do that, the applicant is seeking a variation to reduce the rear setback for floors containing residential uses from the required 30 feet to 22.25 feet. That rear setback relief is directly related to the substandard lot depth dimension. And that's the only relief required for the project. We do have 2 witnesses available to testify on behalf of the applicant, Mr. Nick Delic, and our project engineer, Mr. Michael Cox. And with that, be happy to answer any questions you or the board members have.
Sure. For the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. They'll be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Case 5620.
So look at, I didn't want to like jump the gun too quickly. Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Counselor, a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Great. Thank you again. For the record, Nick Fatikas from the Law Offices of Sam Banks. I'm here on behalf of the applicants, the Jeffrey Lippman Trust and the Joan Brogdon Trust. The co-applicants own the subject property at 3003 North Racine. The subject property is an irregularly shaped lot that is approved with a legal non-conforming 3-story, 2-unit residential building and a detached garage. The applicants live in the second floor unit and rent the first floor to their adult daughter. So owner occupied and trying to generate a little bit of income from family. As indicated in our hearing packet, the detached garage was built with a permit by Sears Garage back in 1992. At the same time, the contractor installed the open stair and roof deck above the garage. As best we can tell, there's no permit for that additional scope of work dating back to 92. Fast forward to about 30 years to 2022, portions of the garage ceiling began to leak. The owners hired a contractor to repair the roof, the garage roof, and replace rotted wood boards. A city inspector cited the work and raised the issue about permitting for the open stair and deck at that time. So in order to bring the existing building conditions into full compliance, the applicants are seeking variations to reduce the south side, the combined side, and the rear setbacks on the lot. While there was a notice of violation issued, the variations are directly related to the irregular 48-foot by 64.5-foot lot dimensions and the location of the 2-flat and the otherwise permitted detached garage on the lot. I'd also point out that the subject property lacks alley access. So the location of the detached garage and the options for where that could be located on the lot are quite limited. Again, the proposed variations would essentially bring all of the existing conditions into full compliance. No changes.
Right.
We do have two witnesses available to testify on behalf of the applicants, co-applicants, Mr. Jeffrey Lippman and our project architect, Mr. Victor Trapazzo. And with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions you or the board members have.
Okay. For the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I do note that we have a letter of support from Alderman Lawson as well.
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions from the board? We will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next case.
All right, good morning. Would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Thank you very much. Counselor, if you want to give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For the record, my name is Nicole Opatinsky, and I'm an attorney with the law offices of Samuel VP Banks located at 221 North LaSalle Street, 38th floor. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Edwin Tippin. The applicant is currently leasing a ground floor retail unit within the building located at 1151 North Pulaski Road. The applicant has been operating a beauty salon in that space. The existing beauty salon provides makeup and eyelash services, and the applicant is now proposing to add hair cuttings and styling services to the existing beauty salon at the subject property. In order to permit the expansion of services, the applicant is seeking a special use because the subject property is located in a B3-1 zoning district, and there is at least one other personal service use located within 1,000 feet of the subject property. I have two witnesses to be testifying today, the applicant, Mr. Edwin Tippin, and the MAI appraiser, Mr. Joe Ryan.
Thank you very much. And the board does recognize Mr. Ryan's expertise. For the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Thank you very much. They'll be admitted into the record. I also note that I have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development that recommends approval of the proposed hair salon. Are there any questions from the board? Counselor, I think this is your maiden voyage, right, before us?
Yes, sir.
Well, good job. With that, we'll take it under advisement. Thank you. All right. Would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. Counselor Toth, if you want to give us a brief overview and introduce your witness.
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, and good morning, members of the board. My name is Richard Toth, an attorney at Georges and Sinowicki, with offices at 20 South Clark Street in Chicago. With me today is Mr. Zenon McHugh, who is both the owner and president of the applicant and also happens to be the owner and manager of the property owner. We're here for this variation for a public place of amusement license within 125 feet of an RS3 district. We're here because of the configuration of the zoning districts around us over which we have no control. The property's at the corner of 65th Street and Central Avenue. It's actually on the border of the village of Bedford Park, which lies to the south. It's a two-story building that's been licensed and operating as a tavern since the 80s, operated in harmony with the neighborhood all that time. The applicant purchased the property about 2 years ago, has rehabilitated the building and successfully operated the business. The applicant seeks to host DJs and small entertainment events, primarily on the first and second floor, and as such needs a public place of amusement license. We've not received any calls. I've not received any calls about the application. I know Mr. McHugh has spoken to some neighbors and patrons who are very supportive of the project. Also, as a courtesy, we presented the project to the Alderman Quinn, who has no objection. We are here to answer any questions, but we would ask for your favorable support and approval.
Okay. For the applicant, do you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Thank you. They'll be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? I have one question because I noticed that the awning, that the photo of the awning said live music. Are you having live music there already?
No.
So,
Okay.
so there was a prior, we've purchased this property relatively recently.
Sure.
And it was, there were events there under the prior owner.
Okay.
And we did have a handful of events afterwards, not realizing what the issue was. And the issue was picked up when we were getting the new licenses in place.
Okay.
And once we discovered that, we came to you.
Sure. And from looking at the photos, it looked like there was just one residential neighbor next to your building. Is that right?
So the directly to the north is one residential building, Mr. McHugh, and then there's some kind of contractor lot or something to the north of that.
It's a parking lot.
Parking lot.
The Suburban Fence uses that, and then to the north of that, it's actually what they call a key club, I guess. or-
To the north farther would be outside of the 100-foot limit.
So-
And then there are some residences across the street to the west.
And no objections from any of those neighbors?
No, sir. Or
No, actually, we're very friendly with all of our neighbors, so.
Great. All right. With that, we will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
thank you.
For 60.
6125. Skipping over.
All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you want to give us a brief overview and introduce your witness.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my name is Patrick Turner with offices in Elmhurst, Illinois, and I represent the applicant Cuts by Carter LLC. To my immediate right is Timothy Carter, the manager of the LLC. The applicant is seeking a special use to establish a hair and nail service establishment that is located within 1,000 feet of an existing personal service located in a B1-1 neighborhood shopping district. Subject property is located at 2108 West 95th Street. The applicant will operate as the Carter Grooming Lounge and will provide haircuts and grooming services to customers, teach proper grooming techniques for young kids, for successful job interviews, and assist kids to maintain a professional look for continued employment. At this point, I would welcome any questions from the board or from my client.
Sure. Sir, do you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you very much. They'll be admitted into the record. I also note that I have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development that recommends approval of the proposed hair and nail salon. Are there any questions from the board?
Are you already operating this as a hair salon?
No,
No, not yet. Okay.
no.
Thank you.
With that, we will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
So we're waiting 6025, we're waiting applicants late.
All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you want to give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Paul Kopak. I represent Casper Development LLC. To my right is Mr. Joe Skiba, who's a member manager of that LLC, and to his right is our architect, Mr. Peter Sterniak. Today, we're applying for variation to reduce the front property line setback, preventing obstruction of the sidewalk from the required 20 feet 2 inches open space with required along the east and west property lines from 5.67 to 0 for proposed 3-car garage serving an existing single-family home on a through lot, which is 153.25 feet in length. The hardship here is that it's a through lot, and if we do not get this variation, we're going to lose approximately 40 feet of our lot width. The trend of development is that most of the single-family homes have their frontage on Walcott and their garages off of Armory. So we're requesting the ability to do the same.
All right, for the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. They will be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board?
Yeah, I'm having trouble visualizing this. You're saying that on the block, the existing garages are in the front of the house?
No, we don't have an alley. So we have a 153-foot lot in length. Because it's a through lot, we were required to have a 20-foot front yard on both sides, which then reduces our buildable area, our usable area. That's why we're here for the variation.
Okay, I got it.
And again, the trend is everybody who has built with their front door on Walcott, with their garage on Henry. And so we're keeping that trend the same way.
Okay.
Welcome.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, we will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Going back to case 6025.
Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do. I do.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you could give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Sure. Good morning, Chairman Sanchez and Commissioners of the Zoning Board of Appeals. For the record, my name is Aaron Dorsey of the law firm of Dykem & Gossett, and we represent the applicants David Buchanan and Lucinda Hummel and the variation application for 2130 West Agatite Avenue. The subject property is improved with an existing two-story house and also a deck and garage with an existing rooftop deck. We are here today to request a variation in the rear yard setback in order to allow for the construction of a pergola, trellis, and access bridge for accessibility reasons. The applicant is engaged with the neighbors regarding the variation, and there should be a letter of support from the adjacent neighbors on file. We've also sent out the notice to the surrounding property owners and have not received any opposition. We've also spoke with Alderman Martin's office, but they prefer to remain neutral on these type of matters. So I am joined here today by David Buchanan to my right. He's the co-owner of the property, and to his right is Nate Kipnis of Kipnis Architecture, the project architect.
Okay, for the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Thank you. They will be admitted into the record. I do note that we do have letters of support from the neighbors in the file. Are there any questions from the board? We will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 665F, 1942 West North Avenue.
Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. Counselor, on this one, I think we need to go a little bit differently than how we've been going, just because the when I reviewed the hearing packet, and I think it may have been there may have been something to this, but the everything that was put in for the factors was just a one-sentence conclusion as to why it just basically just it will not impact the general welfare, and that doesn't provide anything. And I think you may have meant to, because there's a thing on here that said I will update these.
I thought we did. I
So
apologize.
yeah, so maybe you submitted the wrong one, but in any event, if you could just maybe put
No
on your
problem.
case, and so we've got it in the record.
Sure.
And for the record, let me get this in. I do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development that recommends approval for the applicant. Are you the applicant?
Yes.
Could you state your name and address, please?
Paul Wonick, do you need home address or the site address?
Site address is fine.
1942 West North Avenue?
And have you had the opportunity to read the department's recommendation?
No. Oh, yes. Yes, I have.
Why don't you go ahead and just read it real quickly?
Please and thank you.
The question is going to be whether you agree to be bound by the conditions set forth in the recommendation.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, with that, Counselor, if you could put on your case.
Sure. Again, my name is Paul Kopak. I represent P&J Enterprises LLC. We seek to establish a special use to have a liquor store located in the B3-3 Community Shopping District. The goal of the new liquor store is to provide a community with a high-quality beverage and service in this shopping district. The applicant has had an existing business in the neighborhood, approximately across the street, for over 10 years. The reason for the special use application is we need to move to a larger space because we've been well received by the community, and hence the information to go forward. We will be open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week, and there will be employed approximately 2 to 3 staff members to accommodate during the business hours. We don't anticipate any adverse impact. As I mentioned, we're right across the street. We've been there 10 years. We've had great response in fact, one lady got very angry with me because she thought that we were representing somebody who would replace him. And we worked that out. Other than that, the neighborhood is in full support of my client. He's had an excellent reputation. His business is growing. We need expansion.
Sure. Sir, with regard to the, so you're currently operating in another location?
No, we're not operating right now. We have fully closed our previous location and we're awaiting licensing to open our new location.
Okay, and tell us about the operation of the previous location. How long did you operate that prior location?
We've been in that location for 10 years. We had purchased a previously existing liquor store that my business partner had managed for 4 years prior. Like I said, we've been in the neighborhood for a very long time. We mostly sell small batch craft and kind of like a little bit of nicer stuff.
Specialty.
Okay. And any, at the prior location, any BACP violations or anything like that?
No.
Okay. And so this is just to reopen reopen your store at a new location with a larger space?
Correct.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board? We will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, good morning. I think we need you to go up for purposes of the court reporter. Let's make it easier on Donna. Okay, and would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you could give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Sylvia Mikas. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Taft, Stettinius and Hollister, located at 111 East Wacker Drive in Chicago, Illinois. I am here today on behalf of the applicant, HK Productions, LLC, doing business as Cosmic Underground Theater. The applicant is seeking a variation in order to secure a public place of amusement license for its proposed live performing arts venue within the vacant first floor, which is about 1,268 square feet of the existing two-story mixed-use building located at 3433 West Fullerton. As the subject property is located within 125 feet of an RS3 district, the applicant must secure a variation in order to obtain a PPA license. I did want to mention that this property, or actually the leased space, formerly operated as the Acapulco nightclub, in which there was live music, liquor, and dancing. That shuttered about 8 years ago. Our proposed small community arts theater is significantly less intensive, as its live theater productions will just include plays, sketch comedy, variety arts performances, including magic and juggling. The proposed live performing arts venue will not include live music, nor will alcohol be served or allowed on site. The applicant also plans to conduct performance workshops in which participants can learn more about this unique type of theater. Included in our public notice packet is a petition from residents in support of the proposed use, as well as letters of support and a letter of no objection from Alderman Ramirez Rosa. Also, I did not receive any calls or any objections to the posted notice or from the letter that went out to the neighbors within 100 feet. Here with me today are the managers of the applicant and the operators, Kayla Drescher to my right and Harrison Lampert. Also, I did want to mention, we do have two individuals in support. We have Anna Letterman and Michael Dutra.
Okay. Great, thank you very much. For the applicant's witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you very much. They will be admitted into the record. And for the supporters, could you let us know, starting with you, ma'am, why you're here in support?
I've been to numerous performances by the applicants over the last several years, and I believe them to be immensely talented individuals with the utmost integrity, and I support their business, their theater. I think it would be an extraordinary addition to the neighborhood.
Thank you very much. And you, sir?
In a very similar way, I've been a fan of the two applicants for a very long time, and they've been kind enough to let me help them as much as I can along this journey for the business, and I'm very much in support of it.
Excellent, thank you. Are there any questions from the board? We will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, would everyone plan to testify? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you. Counselor, before you begin, I want to say something on the record with regard to the application for this and for the other matters that your firm submitted today. I noticed that you did not fit your answers into our form and instead just gave us answers on separate pages that would far exceed what I think is necessary for us to do this. I want to say for this one, it was like 11 pages of typed out information, and the form exists for a reason. I want you to use that form and try to fit your answers in there. There may be situations where you need to go beyond that form, but I want to limit it. All right, those should be extraordinary circumstances, not every day. So with that, please give us a brief overview of the application and introduce your witness.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and noted, we will make sure to reflect that in our next applications.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Again, for the record, my name is Emmanuel Byer. I'm with the law firm Shane Banks, Kenya and Schwartz. With me is the applicant, July Miranda. The applicant is seeking two variations to reduce the required parking from 3 to 2 and a small reduction. Absolutely. Yeah. The applicant seeking two variations, a reduction in parking from 3 to 2 and an MLA reduction. I think it results in a 24 square foot reduction. It's a very minor reduction. The applicant owner is seeking to construct a 3-dwelling unit residential, multifamily residential building. Right now, the lot is currently vacant. It suffers from substandard lot depth, which is the hardship that is resulting in the variations. The proposed construction design will match the character of the neighborhood, and it will just help, strengthen and improve property values by activating the vacant lot. With me today is the applicant owner, July Miranda, and with that, we can answer any questions you guys have.
Okay. For the applicant, do you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. They'll be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board?
I'm curious, actually, is this going to be 3 separate units for rent or for sale?
I'm gonna live in one, my mother-in-law will live in another one, and then the third one, either my kids would take it or it would be a rental.
Well, thank you.
All right, with that, we will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
18 South Clinton.
Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Thank you very much. Counselor, I assume you heard what I just said on the last one to your colleague about the hearing packet.
I was gonna ask him, I was actually talking to the client at the
Oh,
time, and I was gonna ask him afterwards.
All right, well, he'll fill you in, okay?
Yes.
All right, with that, if you could give us a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, my name is Tyler Manick. I'm an attorney with Shane Banks, Kenny and Schwartz. I'm the attorney for the applicant and owner of 118 South Clinton. 118 South Clinton is currently improved with a 7-story office building. The building's lot line to lot line with no parking, and it has retail space on the ground floor. 95% of this office space suffers from long-term vacancy. This application seeks to activate that space with 74 dwelling units in addition to dwelling units on the ground floor of 50% of the retail space. 118 South Clinton is surrounded by public transit, including Union Station, Kitty Corner across the street, making this a transit-served location and appropriate to reduce the parking to zero. There's also an abundance of walkable entertainment, cultural, and employment opportunities surrounding this location, rendering it well-suited to residential uses with no parking. Thus, we're seeking a special use for ground floor residential use and a variation to reduce the parking requirements to zero. I would like to introduce the owner or the manager of the owner, Mike Shanuda, and the project architect, Ben Kennedy.
Okay, and for the applicant's witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. They'll be admitted into the record, and I see that we do have Mr. Valenziano. I assume you're here on behalf of the alderman? Yes. And tell us why you're here.
Steve Valenziano with Alderman Conway's office. And this is just one of several buildings that we have in the downtown area that we were trying to help see converted from vacant office space to reactivate them and get some people on the streets and get people back to the shops and stuff downtown. So the alderman supports this application, and we worked with the applicant and just here to voice our support.
Excellent. Thank you for coming. Are there any questions from the board?
Yeah, I just, few points of clarity. The entire building is currently commercial
Yes,
and there's currently no parking.
it's lot line to lot line, correct.
I mean, it wasn't required with commercial spots, or was there an administrative, whatever?
I don't think it's required for the commercial, but I'm also think it's probably legal non-conforming.
Yeah. Do you know?
Actually, Steve
Yeah,
probably
it's-
knows the
it's-
history.
It is a legal non-conforming building as originally built, and but there would be no parking requirement for it today under the current zoning. So
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
for the office and business use.
No, I understand. And but it's the same footprint and you're turning it though into residential. And I know this is an area, so it looks like there's residential on the above floors on surrounding buildings and commercial on the ground floor. Is that correct?
There is a condo high-rise within 100 feet.
They're behind us.
Behind us.
But adjacent to it, there's a high-rise building. This is not, I see the one you're talking about, but to the, I don't know what direction this is. I guess it's the north side of the street. So to the east, it looks like there's another building that is at least twice the height. Is that residential above or is it commercial?
Our office as well.
Offices all the way?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. I mean, I'll go with the aldermanic support, but I'm curious, I mean, I appreciate the aldermanic support. I'm just curious about if, is this an area where I mean, I understand the desire to convert to residential, to make, and to have a living, it creates strength in the area. I understand that direction. I'm always wary about the parking to zero when you're in an area, even though because when people move in, I guess it really has to be clear that they're not going to have parking, and that's part of the deal. So, yeah. Thanks. I got my questions answered. The one to the right, the one to the right. Yeah, that's
Fairly
commercial.
confident that's an office
That's
building
completely
as well, yeah.
commercial.
There's a one in front of us going this way, that's condo building, and behind us, it's condo. Building.
And then just one last question, just for the record, is there any affordability involved here?
It doesn't trigger the affordable.
No, I
requirements.
understand
Yeah.
that. That's not my question.
Right.
And the other question, though, I guess, is that the difference between, if you had to do parking, what kind of impact would that have on?
We would have to
On the
tear the
property.
building down.
Yeah, we wouldn't have bought it.
Okay. You went to mine. Okay, thank you.
Our first floor is 3 feet above grade.
Yeah.
So parking at grade coming in wouldn't work.
Okay, thank you.
I do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development recommending approval. For the applicant, have you had a chance to review the department's letter?
He didn't, but I did.
So let's have him review it, because the question is going to be whether you agree to be bound by the conditions set forth in the letter.
Agreeing to the plans. Yeah, he agrees to do it consistent with the plan.
Yeah, you agree?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
And this is really for the Alderman's office. Was there any discussion about affordability in this spot? I know there has been in other instances, but in this case.
There was not in this spot because they're not getting any TIF dollars. They're not getting any other kind of assistance from the city. So, and not in this location. However, in the other downtown revitalization buildings, older office buildings in the loop, in those cases, there's more than what is required through the ARO ordinance in those. So we feel that it's a balanced approach.
Okay, thank you.
All right, with that, we will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 7125 C, 3426 North Hamilton.
Am I okay with that?
Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. All right, sir, could you state you're not an attorney, are you? Okay. Could you state your name and address for the record?
Scott Terrell, 3426 North Hamilton, Chicago. Owner, applicant.
Okay. And ma'am, could you state your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is Elizabeth Terrell and my address is 3426 North Hamilton.
Okay. And the variation that you're seeking here is, the issue here was that the location of your existing home, is that right?
Right, it's quite an old home, 1899, built on the property line, obvious at the time. So this scope of this is to remove that kind of Chantilly built failing addition that was over a stairwell, rebuild, obviously match the existing exterior of the house to the end. So that would be the one variance setback relief. And then also on the front with a porch.
Sure. And do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with the hearing packet are still true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Great. They will be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I move that we convene into closed session pursuant to Section 2C4 of the Open Meetings Act for the purpose of considering the evidence and testimony presented in open session. Commissioner Schiller seconds. Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks? Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, we're in closed session. Everybody good to go? All right, good, okay. All right, I move that we return to open session. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley? Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, and we're back. We will now vote. Note that any motion to approve a special use will be tied to the recommendations of the department and any additional conditions read by me. First, I move to approve all continuance requests to the date stated by me. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the continuances are approved. I move to approve all withdrawal requests. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks? Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the continuances are, or the withdrawals are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 4225S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller? I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 4325S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 4425Z and 4525Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 4725S and 4825Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 4925S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Absent.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5025S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Absent.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5125Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Absent.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5225Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Absent.
Ooh,
Yes, I was back.
Okay. For the record, that was a yes. Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5325Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5425Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5525Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5625Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5725S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 5925Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 6025Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 6125S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 6225Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 6325S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 6425Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 6725Z and 6825Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Soto,
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 6925S and 7025Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Soto,
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 7125Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner Soto,
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to recess until 2 p.m. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Soto,
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, we are in recess until 2 p.m.